Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. This is Play-Doh Wrestling, your go-to source for any and all major stories coming out of the World Wrestling Entertainment promotion. I will say this. Today's video marks the 100th video that I have made on this channel. Anybody who's been a fan of the channel, who's been watching it grow, thank you. Thank you very much. And I just want to be able to make these videos to, share my love of wrestling with the rest of you, the people who also love this as much as I do. And I'd love to get into today's topic. So, the biggest problem within the WWE today is the lack of parity between superstars. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be saying, oh, well, what are you talking about, lack of parity? I mean, there's a good amount of people on the roster, whatever, what have you, I disagree. I really disagree. When you look at the roster right now, I mean, for, collectively, for Raw and Smackdown, even NXT, but really the main two rosters, I'll break it down really easy. It is Roman Reigns, he's right here, and everybody else down here. Everybody else down here. Maybe, Cody's in there, Brock's in there, somewhere in between. But there's him, there's 50 feet of crap, and maybe, 5 more, feet of doo-doo, and then right under the surface, the rest of the superstars. I really am not big on most of the wrestlers in this company right now. And I understand LA Knight's made this big, there's a lot of hubbub about LA Knight. I get it. They want somebody to be excited about. I am not the biggest fan. I'm also not really against him. I'm kind of indifferent towards LA Knight. That's my opinion. Even Goldberg, in an interview last month, said they're not that deep. They don't have a lot of depth. When a legend is willing to say that about his former company, you better believe he's telling the truth. I think them putting all of their eggs in one basket, deciding, hey, we want Roman to be the guy. He is going to be the guy. The tribal chief, the head of the table, the undisputed Universal WWE Champion. He has all the gold, and for good reason. He's easily one of the more talented wrestlers in that entire promotion. He encapsulates what it means to be a WWE superstar. He's really, really he's dedicated his life to being the best wrestler that he can be. There's such an imbalance when it comes to the top tier people on the roster and the lower tier people on the roster. It's unfortunate because you look at things now and who is on Roman Reigns' level? That's what I want to know. Who is on Roman Reigns' level? I don't think anybody can match him.
Your daddy's not here anymore. I'll tell you who his daddy is, because if he keeps messing up, the tribal chief is going to be his daddy.
On the mic, in the ring, everything combined. You have players, you have people who create entertaining storylines. Maybe you say LA Knight, sure, I'll give you that. Maybe you say Cody Rhodes, sure, I'll give you that. Here's looking at you, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Jey Uso. It's one of my bigger gripes I have with the company, is that they don't have enough people on their roster who I say, hey, I care about what they're doing. Because I don't. And I don't think most people do. I have no issues. I'll do you one better. Not only do I have no issues with Roman Reigns not showing up every week, I praise the WWE and their creatives for decide if that is a part of the story, if it's combined, if it's a mixture of him not wanting to show up and them saying take some days off. I commend WWE creative for doing that, because I think that if this is done on purpose, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. This guy is one of the more successful WWE champions in the history of the promotion. He is a must-see champion. And as we know, the best, most exclusive champions, wrestlers, superstars, they show up when they want. They're hard to come by. They're not available every single Friday that people are expecting Roman Reigns to show up. I think it's more than just him being lazy and not wanting to show up. Maybe that's my own naivete, But I can say right now, if this is something that they're doing, if this is a work, brilliant. I think it's brilliant. I've been reading a book called The 48 Laws of Power. It's by Robert Greene. I'll put it right here so anybody who wants to see it can get it. Essentially, it discusses, the things that make people seem powerful. And the 17th rule precisely states, can you guess what it is? Can you guess? Limit your accessibility. Create a certain level of mystique based on how often you are available. Every time he shows up, every time he walks down that ramp, people lose their freaking minds. If he was there every single week, you think that would garner the same reaction? No, not even close. And it helps, obviously, that he might need a break. He might need, some time off. You're telling me you're not more excited than if he were to be there every single week, week in, week out? I think it's smart. I got to give WWE Creative their flowers because I think if they are doing this on purpose, kudos to them. Very, very good booking. There is a serious problem with when you don't have enough competition, it makes the market stale. And I think we become numb as fans to a stale market. I have to clarify. I'm talking about the men's division. The women's division is fine. This might be the strongest the women's division's been, literally in 15 years. As bold as I am saying that, I feel pretty confident. Genuinely. I feel very confident saying that. And by adding Jade Cargill, they are just completely igniting the flames on that fire even more. You look at the women's division, it's as strong as it is. You look at the men's division, it's Roman Reigns, 50 feet of crap, maybe like 10 feet of I don't even know, lard, bacteria, bullshit, and then you got the rest of the roster. Yes, you got Brock, you got Cody, you got the Usos, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, some of these, people. Everybody else, I'm not a fan of. Austin Theory, I'm very happy that he had lost United States Championship to Rey Mysterio. It's about damn time, because it was getting stale. And I think they understood that. I think WWE Creative understood, all right, this is getting stale, we got to move on. And I think, I got to be honest, the thing about Theory that really annoys me is I don't care at all. Austin Theory, when I watch him, when any of you watch him, I would imagine this could be the case for some of you, he looks like a guy playing the part of a heel as opposed to just being a heel. I literally don't believe anything that comes out of his mouth at all. And it's boring. It's genuinely boring. Hearing him talk, he's boring, and I don't care. And in this industry, you got to make people care. John Cena said it best back in March. He does not care. He does not care about what Austin Theory does or says. He doesn't care. Absolutely does not care. What happened to the B tier, C tier level people that people cared about? Santino Marella. I get, he's a comedic wrestler. This guy, not only was he one of the better people on the mic in the entire industry, Santino Marella is a future Hall of Famer. And if he isn't, I don't know what to say. I was invested in every single match that he would wrestle in. And every time he would come out there, he'd kill it. He would kill it. Even in the backstage promos. He was made to be made fun of. And he was great at what he did. He was a C-tier level wrestler. And that's being generous. I don't think that there's enough balance in the company right now. You have Roman Reigns, and you have everybody else. Who are the top draws in the company? Who are the people that make people say, hey, I want to see this person? For me, that was The Miz. And, I just so happened to start watching right as he became WWE Champion. As much as people didn't like him, he brought it every single episode of Raw back then. And he still does. What I'm trying to say is you have people like Chris Jericho. You have people like Christian. You have people like Sheamus. You have people just on that similar sort of level. Dolph freaking Ziggler. Zack Ryder. A lot of these different types of people. Shelton Benjamin. Finlay. Right? Kofi Kingston. Alberto Del Rio. Oh my gosh. The list just goes on, right? The Rock. Edge. Rey Mysterio. Kane. Big Show. Undertaker. John Cena. Sheamus. John Morrison. The Miz. Drew McIntyre.
Every time I come a nigga gotta set it, then I gotta go, and then I gotta get it, then I gotta blow, and then I gotta shut it. Any little.
Look at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view this year. How many Money in the Bank ladder matches were there that involved both Raw and SmackDown? There was one single ladder match, and they couldn't even have 8 people in the match. They had to make it 7 because they don't have enough people that they can trust. I firmly believe this. I don't think that they have enough wrestlers for them to say, hey, I want to have you do this match. I trust you to be able to do this, even though you haven't done it before, and put on a show. I don't think they have faith in 16 wrestlers to be able to do that. It's not like it was in 2010, 2009, 11, 12, 13, what have you. It's not like that anymore. It's a different game now. It's a totally different game. There were 7 people in that men's division ladder match. There were 7 people. You go back 12 years ago, they had 2 separate 8-man Money in the Bank ladder matches. 2. One for Raw and one for SmackDown. And now this year they have 1? And not only that, they can't even get the full 8 people required to do. They got to do 7 people because they don't trust enough people to have an 8-man ladder match. They don't. And if they did, they'd gladly put Montez Ford in there instead of having him compete with LA Knight to make it happen. I genuinely believe they don't trust enough of the wrestlers that they have on their roster to be able to say, hey, I think you'd be able to be entertaining enough to put you in this match. And it doesn't help when you got people botching like Logan Paul and Ricochet. I think Logan Paul is a good wrestler. I think he has a good amount of potential. I really do. Do I think they've been using him the right way? No. Do I know how he should be used? No, I don't. But I can tell you what, I think his storylines have been really crappy. The fact that they cannot even put up 8 wrestlers, 8 superstars within the men's division to compete for a chance to win the Money in the Bank briefcase is a problem. And I think it should sound off the alarm to all of you, to all of the fans who are watching, that, listen, it's pretty indicative they don't have enough talent. They do not have enough talent. They know that. We should know that as fans, and we should ask for more. Because the more and more that we buy tickets, the more and more that we support this, what are they going to do? How are they not going to feel incentivized to change anything? And Roman's just going to be at the top, or somebody else who replaces him is going to be at the top. A lot of the superstars on the rosters right now are they're one-dimensional. They're one-sided. And I don't think WWE Creative has put enough into their storylines to make people care. So, all this to say, if WWE can find new, good, young talent, more of it, because they are attracting some of, the new, younger, fresh faces. If they can bring people in from AEW, continue to bring people in. Look at MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. He doesn't seem like he's going to be leaving AEW in the coming years. But when he does, oh my gosh, WWE would be idiotic, moronic, I don't know the kindest way to say it, silly not to reach out to him, not to knock on his door, because that guy is a stud. And he could stand toe-to-toe with Roman Reigns in the ring any day of the week, twice on Sundays, okay? And the reason why it's frustrating is, for me, as a fan, I've watched it when it's been at a level that people can accept and be happy with. And seeing where it's gone over the course of the last 10 years, over the course of the last 7 years, has been rather upsetting. Thank you very much for watching. This has been episode 1 of Broad Shoulders. Again, I'm going to be doing this periodically throughout the duration of the next few months. Let me know what you guys think. I'm genuinely curious. Do you agree with me? Is there a lack of parity? Is there an imbalance within the rosters in the WWE? Or am I full of it? Or am I not? Tell me. I want to know. I want to create a certain dialogue around this sort of just discussion, because this is important. I think the more numb that we become as fans to whatever it is that we're seeing, the product that WWE is putting out, they are not going to feel any sort of incentive to change things, and that's gonna it's gonna decrease the value of what we're seeing, as fans, and it's not what I would want as a fan of storytelling and as a fan of sports entertainment. I really want to be able to increase the level of dialogue here, because there is a dialogue to be had. I just don't think people are dissecting, enough into it. So, all that to say, thank you for watching. Please, if you can, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It helps the channel grow based on the YouTube algorithm. Until next time, peace.